Hi.
Hi, hi.
Hi,
How are
Dhruv.
you?
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, good. It's so good to see you today.
So good to see you too. I'm looking forward to tonight. We'll have a fun chat today.
Yeah, definitely. We even have a fun chat today evening.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it was amazing learning something about you and more
Thank you
about
so
your
much. Thank
industry.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Shani, moving ahead, I would request you, like my first request already of many of tonight, a small introduction from your side about you so that
Okay.
people can know something about you.
Okay, I'll give us a very brief intro of what exactly I'm into and what I do.
Yeah.
My name is Shaini, and I run an event management company named Lilac Events. We are an award-winning wedding planning and event management agency based in Ahmedabad, and we work pan-India. We do weddings, corporate events. We do a lot of celebrations like birthdays, anniversaries, housewarmings, and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what we do. And yeah, we have like any questions that you want to start with, I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
yes, something about you as a person.
Oh, me as a person. So that's never come up. So that's always something that I have to think about a lot. But yeah, so I started young. I was a young entrepreneur, and I've been into this field since 7 years now. I the my hobbies are like I there is one question I dread, and that is like, what are your hobbies? And that is something I don't like to answer. But yeah, that for fun, what I do is I literally chill and literally watch Netflix for a little bit of time. So
Yeah,
that's what
like
I do.
Netflix and chill is your code.
Yeah, Netflix and chill is my quote. And other than that, I have a twin sister, so that's one fun fact
Oh,
about me. Yeah,
so you both are in same field?
no, no, we're not. She's a business analyst.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, Shani, how do you define business basically?
So, I would say, business is something that when I started out, I literally had only one definition in my head, and that was, something that solves the problems of, your customers or a
Hmm.
community, and
Okay.
it has to answer or address a problem.
Hmm.
So when I started out, I had a basic issue that I was seeing across in the entire industry, or whenever you talk about it. So there was this
Hmm.
entire thing that weddings are a lot of hassle, especially Indian weddings. They are too
Right.
much hassle. There's so much happening. Every single event that happens in India, there's even if it's a small baby shower at your place, it's going to be like 100 chatis getting together, 20 things that you have to get for the ritual, and the decorator and the vendors and everything. So
Right.
I saw the need. I wanted to address that situation, that why not I put, why can I not be a barrier so that you do not
Hmm.
have to go through all that hassles. So
Right.
basically, I think any business has to be only one thing, that it has to address a problem, and it has to try new ways to solve it better every single day.
Okay. So, like coming back to business, I would like to ask that generally in the field of event management, what kind of business model do you focus on?
So when I started out, I did not have a very concrete business model, if I had to say so. But
Hmm.
gradually, when you start learning, like, I believe in learning, and I believe in learning, through books. I believe in
Hmm.
learning through people, and I believe in learning through, really experiences. So all
Right.
those three things, that comes out to, okay, this is my model right now. This is my business model. Like, when we are talking about it in the past, it's just, okay, how will I source and how will I sell? That are only two things about business models. But when we are talking about it in today, like, today I have a broader vision. I did not have that yesterday, or I did not have
Hmm.
that 5 years from now. I
Okay.
just, all I had was, okay, I have this event, I have this inquiry, and I have this client asking me to meet him tomorrow again. So that's one thing that was pretty much how I started. But gradually I understood this entire concept of, okay, making a 10-year plan, 5-year plan, 1-year plan, dividing it into goals, and then,
Okay.
doing it on daily basis, because then you learn that it is not a one-time job. Then you understand that it is something that comes with consistency. Like,
Okay.
if I'm going to reach out to 100 clients, I am
Mm-hmm.
going to get a 10% conversion rate out of it. So
Okay.
basically, you learn all this stuff gradually, and it is
Right.
different for every single person that starts a business. So
Hmm.
basically, the model right now that we are working on is there's a wedding vertical, that's Weddings by Lilac. There's a corporate event vertical that we call Lilac Events,
Hmm.
and that is that then there's another vertical that we call Celebrations by Lilac.
Okay.
Eventually, like that is one thing that we have in house. We do birthday parties, baby showers, housewarmings, a lot of small parties which actually come from the fact that we just want to we that is one segment that what that we wanted to address, because we had a major issue with sourcing at that point. Like, we
Okay.
did not find really quality vendors in the
Right.
budget scale that we wanted to give a party out to. Like, we wanted
Okay.
to do small parties, like, maybe a party for 20 kids, or 100 adults, or something like that, something with a very basic range, very basic
Mm-hmm.
budget, and but still adding the creativity, because our clients had the same taste. They did not
Okay.
like something bad. So, they liked exotic flowers for their anniversary. They did not like only roses and,
Hmm.
sunflowers in their decor. So, that is when we started innovating and we put everything in house. And that is when our model actually segregated into three departments. So now there's a wedding vertical, corporates, and
Right.
then celebrations. So that's how I
Okay.
divide it into. And basically, then the entire catch, like
Right.
sourcing and inquiries, and that's one thing that we do. Selling, sourcing, and basically, I would say, just maintaining the contact with the client. So
Yes.
that's what we do. And when we talked about about this entire thing, like what we wanted to discuss about the entire marketing thing,
Yeah.
so I would like to address this here, that every single model that we do, like Weddings by
Mm-hmm.
Lilac, has a different way of acquire, because there's a different target segment, there's a different target
Right.
market, there's different types of clients that we are targeting. There are
Hmm.
different decision makers. The person who actually decides for a birthday party is not the same person who decides for the wedding in the same family.
Right.
So we understood that entire part, and
Hmm.
the kind of people that we were dealing with, and the same thing with corporate. That
Right.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everything has a different like, we have a different sales funnel for every single vertical
Mm-hmm.
that we're working out
Okay.
with. So yeah.
So, talking about marketing. So, how basically event management firms focus on marketing and they decide on marketing, like what should be my next step and how can I achieve my targets with the help of marketing?
Okay. So like said, marketing or branding is
Hmm.
only valuable when it is done consistently. Like
Hmm.
branding,
Okay.
I'll give you a very simple example. मान
Hmm.
लो आप बहुत अच्छा लोगो बनाते हो, you make a great envelope, you make a great letterhead, you make great creatives, everything,
Okay.
but it only matters if you do it consistently. If
Okay.
people see it regularly, people are going to love your logo. Why?
Hmm.
Because you've made a nice product, but you've also used it consistently. It's the same with marketing. You
Hmm.
are not going to get an event or a work or any sort of work, or even selling a product. It's not going
Right.
to happen at one time. Like, it's not just going to be that, okay, I did one sales call today, and I'm going to get something tomorrow. It's not never like that. It's a constant process. It's because
Okay.
people know you in the market. It's because your buyers know you as a brand. Like,
Hmm.
they should know you as a company first. So that's one thing. Like, being recognized has to be a consistent effort. And same thing with marketing. Like, just be in touch with your clients, call them, make new connections, talk to them, go to networking events. I
Hmm.
am a big fan of networking events, also
Okay.
because it works for me, because I'm in a people's business.
Yeah.
But also, it grooms you as a person. It
Hmm.
really
Okay.
grooms you in every single manner. The only reason that you have a foot just ahead of your competitor is because you have groomed yourself better at something that your competitor has not. So
Okay.
and you only know that when you stand in a room which networks you to other people. When you see other industries, when I see a product person, manufacturer, or an industrialist or someone, I am going to see him and I'm going to see everything about his business. I'm going to talk about it. So what happens?
Okay.
I try to do that with my industry, with my company, and eventually that is how, the entire sync works. That, networking events is something that I'm a big fan of. Like, that is something I really go to. I've always went to, even if I wasn't working at that point of time,
Mm-hmm.
even if I was just out, I'll go out, even if I'm in a different city, I'll go to a networking event. I'll try to find a networking event that way. So that's one
Okay.
thing.
So, like
Yeah.
moving ahead, I have another question about you about the target audience. Like, do you
Mhm.
focus on any target audience in when coming to your field?
I do. I did not start out with a target audience, to be very honest, but along the way, I kind of understood. As long as when we started solving problems of the events, when we
Hmm.
started, executing events, when we started seeing, like, all I did was I kept my ears open, I kept my eyes
Okay.
open, and I observed. Okay,
Hmm.
acha, if there's a wedding, who's taking the decision, and who is problem solving with me, and who is the person I'm reporting to, or who is the person who's making the payments. So that
Okay.
entire thing, when you see it a couple times, then it lines up to you. Okay, this is the person who's the decision maker in a corporate. So if I'm
All
going
right.
to say, for example, a real estate company for a corporate
Mm-hmm.
event for their corporate launch, I know that maybe the CEO is not interested,
Hmm.
because they do a launch event because they want to market that product, they want to sell their product eventually. So
Right.
the decision maker comes down to maybe the sales head or the marketing head. It's
Okay.
never the HR's job. But at the same time, if I'm going to a company, the same company, and they are doing a team building event, maybe the HR is the person who's making the decision, because he needs to know that how are we doing this entire thing that will bring the team closer.
Hmm.
So, the decision makers are going to change every time. So there's
Okay.
no, if I tell you today, ki, acha, if you go to a corporate event, look for the HR head, it's never going to work for you.
All
Because,
right.
there's different, same thing with weddings or,
Like type of events,
birthdays.
basically. It totally
Type
depends
of
on the
event,
type of
yes.
events.
Type of events, and the when it comes to social event, the culture of the family.
Hmm.
Sometimes, there's this entire culture of, women being in charge of this entire wedding or baby shower or anything that has to do with any social event at the home, because the men are too busy. Sometimes it
Okay.
happens that the women is also working, and she wants to take in charge, so it has to, all those things, when you go into the first meeting, you're just going to observe these things, and you're going to know after a few years, you're just
Hmm.
going to know, okay, this is the person that is the decision maker. So if I roam
Right.
with, like, even if I'm going to call Bhabiji 100 times, it's never going to work out with her, because
Okay.
the decision maker is, the chachi ji of the family. So
All right.
it's that way around, that, with social events, it's a little more complicated, but it's very transparent. You can see it. And
Yes.
in
Yeah.
corporates, it's a simple structure. You need to follow the structure that, acha, ye event hai, this person is going to be in charge, and
Okay.
communicate to your client that I want to get in touch with this person and nobody
Mm-hmm.
else. So that's how it's going to work out better for you.
Okay. Okay. So basically, Shani, when it comes to charging a client, so we generally see that sometimes we feel that we don't understand where the event management firm is charging the client. L- So, what are the basic things you consider while deciding on the prices and deciding on the charges?
So I'll tell you something. Okay, Dhruv. So one one thing that happens in events specifically is when you
Hmm.
start an event, you never know how to charge. You never know
Hmm.
how your company charges, even if you're freelancing with them, even if you're,
Right.
just interning with them. You'll never know that, because, Indian companies aren't vocal about how they are making money with their teammates. But what happens is,
Right.
like, how I figured it out. In the start, I did not know how to charge, what to do, what kind of a company are we? Are we consultants? Are we outsourcing agents? Or are
Hmm.
we just, the middleman? Eventually, I understood that we do not. So then I went down to basic rules. Like, we don't own something
Okay.
that makes us, that we aren't an in-house production company. We are the sourcing agents, and the clients
Right.
approaches us. So eventually, I got to the point that, okay, we are the link between somebody and somebody, and that is why we should be. And
Mm-hmm.
they hire us just because we have the knowledge, we know the trends, and we know how to get the best out of it. So eventually, we became
Okay.
consultants, and
Right.
consultants always charge a fee, and fees
Hmm.
always comes in forms of percentage or it's a fixed fee.
Right.
And then I went
Right.
online, I searched for it, Kecha, how are people charging in Ahmedabad? I talked to peers in the
Hmm.
industry, okay, how are you charging,
Okay.
etc. And I get to understand that okay, there's one thing in weddings. I want to charge a fixed fee only for the
Mm-hmm.
fact, okay, I don't charge a percentages because I don't want the bride to be thinking, okay, if I add this, singer, it's going to be an additional on Chinese part too. It's going to
Hmm.
be a 8% additional on Chinese part, and I don't want to do it. I don't want
Okay.
her to hesitate doing anything, adding anything to her wedding just
Hmm.
because she has to think of my fee,
Yeah.
as a middle person. So I never wanted that. That is why I always charge a fixed fee. You do
Okay.
a weddings for 40 lakhs, you do a wedding for 4 crore. My simple fee is going to be X amount for this wedding, this many
Okay.
days, this many team, and this much of execution that we want to do.
All right.
End of story. And when we did corporate events, it was a basic thumb rule that we went with, that there's a percentage fee that we charge,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically because it's a package that we give out. Yeah,
Okay.
this launch event, we are going to do it, this exhibition that we are going to do it, this
Mm-hmm.
many stalls, this many this, etc., etc. This is the production cost, this is the catering cost.
Right.
Eventually your event sums up to this. But because corporates are very, what do I say, it's cutthroat competition when it comes to price. You win or
Okay.
lose based on the prices.
Okay.
Quality and price, but basically price. It's a price driven market. So because
Okay.
corporates also work like that, like they earn money the same way, so they think the same way. So
Okay.
eventually, we understood that one part, that we want to be the best in the market with the best of the services. And then for doing all of this, we want to charge a percentage on whatever amount the corporate is spending eventually.
Okay.
So that is what helps both of us, because at that point of time, there's usually there's no social or emotional connection with the corporate. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have to do this because of social pressure, or I have to do this because of corporate pressure. There's nothing like it. They have a very
Okay.
basic thumb rule of everything that goes in that event. So that's
All
why
right.
we have two different structures for two different, like all the segments that
Verticals,
we work with.
basically. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, so talking about next step, so I wanted to ask you and understand, like, if someone is starting as an event planner, so what will be your tips as for a beginner?
Okay, yeah. So basically, when I started out, I had this one question that I always wanted to solve.
Hmm.
Okay, how do I reach out to people? How
Hmm.
does someone know that Shiny does weddings for a living, or
Okay.
Shiny executes corporate events, or Lilac does this? How do they know that? So basically, that is one question that will always haunt you. Okay, how
Okay.
do I reach to my buyer? How do I reach
Mm-hmm.
to that person? So,
Right.
basically, this entire structure works on that model. Ke, then you realize this entire part, that it is not just one time sale, it's not one time buyer, but you have to go to that, you have to target that sector, you have to target that market, and eventually you have to work out the same way. Like you have to talk to more people, you have to, present to more people, and eventually there's going to be a conversion that happens. Like,
Okay.
it's a basic thumb rule that, like I'll just share it in brief, that it's the law of average. Like the number of people that I talk to,
Hmm.
uh, I'll move to the second part, that is the presentation part,
Hmm.
and that is like 10% conversion. Say for example, I'm talking
Okay.
to 100 people, I'm only going to be able to present to 10 people
10
who
people.
will. Yeah, so if I pick up the call and tell, okay, Dhruv, hi Dhruv, I'm Shiny, I'm calling from this company and I'm doing this and I want
Hmm.
to talk to you. You only 10% of you will tell me that, okay, let's meet up. I want to discuss more about this. And out of that 10, only one person is going to convert, because then
Mm-hmm.
10% conversion again. So out
Okay.
of 100 sales call you're going to do, there's only going to be one client that you're going to close. So
Right.
eventually you have to reverse engineer the entire goal out.
Process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the time,
So
especially when you're starting.
Yeah, because at the starting time, you don't know whom to approach. Like you may have
Right.
100 friends, you may have 5,000, people that you know, but you don't
Hmm.
know whom to tell. Like
Whom to
all
talk?
you do,
Yes.
yeah, all you do is, you go out, you tell them, yeah, I have this company. Like when I started out,
Yeah.
all I did was I put a Facebook post, like,
Hmm.
we got our website done, we got our visiting card done, brochure done, we got a very professional picture of everything taken out, and we put it on Facebook that, okay, so we are live now. So, but that was the way that I got my first client. I mean, it was one of my friend who saw this entire post online, and she called me that, I have this Mamaji who's doing a wedding
Okay.
of his son, and I want you to talk to him. And I was astounded at that point of time, and that one thing has never left me, that never
Okay.
take your own community for granted.
Hmm.
You'll
Right.
always think कि अरे यार ये मेरा friend है, what will he be able to help me out with? This
Okay.
person, I know him since years, how is he going to help me out with? But never take your people for granted, never. And express gratitude to them, like, tell them that, this happened because of you, and thank you. So
Right.
I've done, I've learned all this along the way, and it took me a long time. It took me a lot of emotional, support, like, because that happens. So
Right. 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 We cannot express that, but yeah, that happens. I
that
totally
happens, yeah.
understand that. Yeah. I have one last question for you. Coming to the end, that if you want to give one message to all the audience, what would it be?
One message. So I have this one statement that I live by, and if
Okay.
that helps any even one person of this entire audience, I would love that. That I believe in one thing, that is faith over fear. I think, like I told you, like I'm a very critical person.
Hmm.
So I always criticize in my head, and I will talk it out loud kind of a person. So I have a fear quotient that is in me, and it's in you, and it's in me, and it's in
Right.
everybody.
Yes.
But where we make a difference is, how do we put our faith over the fear? Like,
Yes.
how do I believe in this, irrespective of what's going to happen or what I think is going to happen? So,
Right.
faith over fear is one statement that I want to be the message that we can all live by.
Yeah, that's really an amazing message because faith over fear, it's really important for everyone to understand that thing. Rather than just going with the statement, it's important for us to act on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very true. Very true.
then only we can understand the real meaning of the statement.
Yeah,
Because
and
yeah, if
that
we
is
don't
very
try,
true.
we don't get it.
And trying, like, something's better than nothing is one thing, but
Right.
also that one another thing, every time you're scared by something, mark, like I've marked this out. Every time I'm scared by something, it's always like, what if, question mark, like, what if I fall? So
Okay.
you always
Yes.
have to give one positive note to yourself, that, okay, what if, put a positive statement to it, like, what if,
Right.
like, for example, what if this Instagram session does not go well? But
Mm-hmm.
what if it
Right.
goes extremely well?
Really well.
So,
Yes.
yeah, you have to be extremist at this point, and you have to
Okay.
put your faith over fear. Okay, whatever's going to happen, it's going to be good only. So that's one thing.